What's up? What's up? So, children of the sun, this is your metaphysical advisor, Montre Bible. And we are doing a tarot talk today. We're gonna kind of hobnob a little bit. Made a couple of videos, got some comments, and so I thought I needed to make a longer video for you guys. So, we can just talk a little bit. Plus, I like to reconnect with a lot of folks sometimes on issues and things that interest you. Um, and I like to do tarot, of course. I do tarot full time, not full time, actually part time. I do have other things I do, but hey, Penny, I see you up in here. Mister's here too. Yes. Let's open the chat up. There you go. Also, I have a new little baby, Spike. My sister dropped him off like Will Smith in Bel Air, and he's been hanging out. So he's a little bit younger, and sometimes he needs a lot of attention. So a lot. But he's cool. He's cool. I do all my readings on my website. So you can always book a reading if you need a tarot reading. MontreBible.com. Let me put this on vibrate because it seems like every time I go online, people want to message me. All right. And also, I do video recordings. So if you don't want to do a live reading, you just want to kind of ask a question and I can just send you a video. Join Wizio.com, a really great site for that. I have all my other links at BeMyFan.com. So you can just look on that website and see all my links on my social media. Follow me there. I've been doing daily cards on Instagram on my stories. Really cool. And if you want to send me a tip, you can feel free to do that. Cash at me. Always helps out a brother. I'm not the richest guy or the most popular guy on YouTube, but that's fine. I got you, so it's all good. Also will be doing a weekly tarot on Sunday, so join me for that. But today we want to talk about NASA. Now, the only reason I want to talk about this, I did a video about whether the Earth is round or flat. There's a big controversy with a lot of the YouTube community, and there's a lot of people who support flat Earth and a lot of people who support round Earth. I'm not talking about anybody's beliefs or sometimes it gets rude. People just get rude about it or whatever. And it becomes kind of cultish. I am always the kind of guy who likes to sit in between and look at both sides of the story. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual. And sometimes when you just believe the science, it gets way separated from spirituality and what we know about spirituality and what we believe about spirituality, about the cosmos, God, the gods, the divine order, all of that. You just might as well throw that out the window because science does not believe that. So I don't throw the baby Jesus out with the bathwater. I typically try to look at everybody's beliefs and try to see, okay, maybe there's a bigger picture here, as well as, yes, we have science, but let's look at also what were the past beliefs of the ancients. There's so much stuff that we don't understand, and it's almost like it's being hidden on purpose. And that's why my thing about the title of this video is NASA lying to us, is the government lying to us, just to keep people in the dark. There's so much ancient history out there that was literally written in stone. And these people didn't go through writing things in stone just to be forgotten or to make up stories, especially during a time where most people were probably, stories were passed down, word of mouth. So to even write something down, to even be a scribe, to be literate was a special place. Everybody wasn't literate. Everybody couldn't read. Only certain people could read. And if they found out, scribes, Enoch in the Bible, for example, was a scribe, and the gods used him to write down a lot of spiritual words. And we can talk about Enoch later. That's a whole different thing. If you never if you've never read the book of Enoch, it's a very great book. And it talks about, the beginning, creation, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And also the angels that came down and everything that they've done and how they incorporated into our reality, and where demons come from and the fallen angels and whatnot. That's a different topic. Hey, Natalie, I see you in here. What are you saying? Yeah. Arthur C. Clarke said that a certain level of technology becomes indistinguishable from magic. Exactly. I think there's a lot of what we call, the occult is basically magical science. And if you think about a lot of the shamans and witch doctors of yesteryear in the past were doctors. They were the doctors of their village. They used natural medicine to heal people. And they were relied upon for years. And we've gotten away from that. Today's science does use some of the same concepts, but we've gotten very chemical with a lot of things that we do. And it's almost to the point where everything's gotten backwards. But yeah, let's see. What are you talking about? You said pollen is kicking my butt. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's that season. It is springtime. Yeah, you're right. I'll agree with you, Natalie. Science does seem very political right now. It's because I learned about politics in college. Politics is about money and who controls the money and how that money is allocated. And because of our monetary system, and we're so controlled by money, it controls pretty much every aspect of our lives, from science to how we take care of ourselves, to our autonomy, to even spirituality and religion, as politics gets even into those areas. But I wanted to talk about, basically, let me show you the comment first. Let me tell you, I am jamming with this down tempo. Sometimes I get these music streams from Restream, which is where I'm streaming from, and sometimes they're just jamming. And one time I got a copyright strike. I'm like, the music is free. Anywho, turn my fan on. All right, so let's look at this comment here. Okay, so I did a video about round Earth, flat Earth. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let's see here. Where's the comment? Okay. I did a reading on the tarot reading is Earth, globe, or flat, and it came out to a kind of a globe. It wasn't a complete yes, but the tarot reading said that Earth is somewhat a globe and that it went through some type of cataclysm. This guy, XVH Green, he says, that was 3 days ago. NASA shoots rockets in the ocean, all their satellites are helium balloons. I agree with that. A lot of things that NASA does is, I don't like space stuff. They haven't really done, they're not floating out there. They're putting helium balloons. I saw videos on that. Air bubbles, green screens. Yes, they're faking a lot of stuff. Hairspray and hair. I've seen those videos. I've seen people make videos about it. Hopefully I don't get flagged for this video for even talking about it. You know how YouTube likes to keep things under things. Doesn't like people talking about stuff like that, which I don't care. The second law says outer space is fake. NASA means to deceive in Hebrew. I heard about that. I don't know if I don't speak Hebrew, but NASA has 666 in the math everywhere. Every picture of space is a literal cartoon image NASA fakes and admits it's fake. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, watch the video that I did. Basically, I was saying that, well, we could watch it now. I mean, it's not like I'm really doing anything. All All right. But yeah, watch it later. I'm not gonna replay that. That's like 20 minutes. But basically, I just did a yes or no and came and it told me basically the Earth is a globe, kinda, because I didn't get a perfect yes. And if I don't get a perfect yes, that usually means something. So let's talk about it, because if you've ever I want to show you this. I have a backup channel on Rumbler, and just in case YouTube decides to, kick me off, because I do talk about controversial stuff sometimes. And he sends me all of these videos. His name is Salty Sergeant. Hey, Salty Sergeant, if you're on Rumble, he sent me all these videos about flat Earth and stuff. I've seen these videos. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with people when they say, "Oh, they found proof of flatness." I'm just saying what the tarot is telling me, that it's still a globe, but not quite, because I didn't get a perfect yes. If I got a perfect yes, I would say it's a complete globe, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna just tell you from a spiritual standpoint, or a lot of mythologies. He sent me all of these videos. Look at this. They can't do this on YouTube. They can only do this on Rumble, where they can put links in your comments. But he sends me all of this stuff. He sent me a couple of YouTube videos too. Some of these I've already seen. Domed Earth, Ice Wall. I don't know, the Ghislaine Maxwell. What is that? I'm gonna have to check that out. And then a bunch of other conspiracy theories, which are great. I love those. Conspiracy theories are so entertaining to me. It's ridiculous. And I don't feel like the YouTube or anything on the internet, Google or whatever, should be blocking people from entertaining themselves. Whether they're true or false, people should still be able to talk about it and say, okay, well, maybe, I'm a big philosopher. I am very big on philosophy and asking questions, so I don't mind. But what we're going to talk about is basically Tiamat, and that's what I wanted to go into today, which is the Enuma Elish and the creation story of the Enuma Elish. Okay, so if you guys have never heard of the Enuma Elish, it's one of the first ancient creation stories. And then I'm also going to talk about the Bible. My name is Montre Bible. Got to talk about it. But we want to talk about one of the first creation stories of the Enuma Elish, which talks about Tiamat. Okay, so that is very important. If you know different mythologies, how can I turn those notifications off? If you know different mythologies, things start making a little bit of sense. And like I said, I'm not religious, so I don't stick to just one belief. I listen to everybody. So now that you heard about that NASA one, there's so much. So that's what I want to do. We're going to do some readings. So if you guys have questions for the universe, we're going to do that today. And we're going to ask, like, for real. And let's get some answers. But I've done some readings on, have I done any readings on NASA? I never labeled them. Sometimes I do more than one reading on a video, but it won't be particularly about NASA. It'll be about something else. So that's why I'm like, I know I've done this reading before, but I lose them because the topic of that video is something else. Because you know me, I get on tangents and then I'll be like, okay, let me ask this question. So it's neither here or there. So let's talk about the Enuma Elish. All the dogs are asleep, so we got some quiet right now. Sometimes I feel like a parent with these dogs. All right, so Tiamat, the Mesopotamian religion Tiamat. She was a primordial goddess of the sea. Now her consort was Apsu, the god of the groundwater. Now, if you think about this, Tiamat, the goddess energy, she was pretty much on her own ruling stuff. She was seen as a serpent goddess, and her consort is her mate was the masculine energy. He wasn't running stuff, she was running stuff. So ladies, you should feel good about that, because the beginning of beginnings was a female energy, and she was seen as, he said, the deep sea mermaid. Yeah, she was but it was kind of like chaos. So They talk about her being a serpent or serpent energy. Now, the Gnostics also talk about the first energy being Sophia, which was female, and then she created um, the demiurge. I do believe she created her masculine energy, and he thought he was God. And you got to look. We're not going to talk about the Gnostics today, but because you know me, I'll go on tangents and start talking about everything. But we'll talk about Tiamat. But the same thing. They all start off as this female energy, and she was the sea dragon. She was in this primordial ocean. So let's keep that in mind, that before the world, anytime we talk about the creation of the world, they're really talking about the creation of Earth. Okay, they're not talking about the universe, they're talking about Earth. And outside of our world, Earth, is this ocean of nothingness, basically. And she existed within that. So, and it was supposed to be like salt water. So this is what she lived in. And then Apsu, which was her consort, the masculine energy of her was the fresh water. And the mixing of their energy created more gods, more beings. Okay, so what I'm picturing here is this swirling energy. There's like this swirling kind of effect kind of thing going on. And I wanted to get this image. Tiamat. Actually, I want to show you guys this first. Let's do this. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike for this either. But I'm only going to play a little bit of this guy's video. And let me give him a little credit first. This is from Mythical Factory. He's got 16,000 subscribers, like he needs any more. But yeah, I subscribed. But let's listen to his video. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
And everything that exists in ancient Babylonian mythology.
Can y'all hear that? I just paused it. Let me know if you can hear it before I start. I'm gonna turn that down. Let me know. Yeah, okay, great. I'm gonna start the video.
The first time Tiamat was mentioned in history was in the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation epic written in 7 clay tablets in Akkadian. She was described.
Notice that's written in stone. Look at all those little. You think they're just gonna waste their time on that? And I told you, like, these people don't waste their time. And being a writer, a scribe was an important job, and being able to read was an important job.
As a mighty force of nature, and usually depicted as a monstrous dragoness or a massive snake. Together with Apsu, they represented the original idea of chaos within the universe. According to the myth, it was only when Tiamat and Apsu mixed their waters together that the world was created, and then life began. Tiamat bore within her womb the first gods that would later on form the principal pantheon of Babylonian mythology. These children.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. So when these two gods, these two beings, I think they're greater than gods. They're the first primary beings. They created reality. So think of them more so like spiritual beings, some other ethereal beings living in this universe of ocean, or what we would think. Let's not think so simply, but the masculine and the feminine joined together, and they started creating the gods. And the gods then started becoming a part of this new order, and that's where we are now.
Children were loud and very annoying at first, which prevented Apsu and Tiamat from sleeping, and eventually drove them mad.
And that's the same story that eventually repeated itself, because history just repeats itself in cycles, because that's almost the Anunnaki story, when the Anunnaki created mankind, and they got upset because there were so many humans that they could not rest because humans were loud and annoying.
Reaching his limit, Apsu asked Tiamat to take care of the issue and get rid of their children to finally get some rest, but she refused. It was only until she heard that Apsu was killed by their own creation, that the goddess decided to take action and destroy them in return. Ea also
So they killed Apsu, they killed the masculine energy. So she tried to attack them. Then we get just a short story because it's kind of long, it's 3 minutes. Short story short, Ea was Inki, the creator god. This is after they had already created the Anunnaki, and then the Anunnaki created humans. Ugh. But this is before the Anunnaki created humans. This is when they're just kind of being their doing their thing. And then they Marduk was the son of Ea, and Marduk was the one who supposedly killed Tiamat, split her in half, and then created the world, the heavens and the earth. Now, what does that sound like? Boom. That sounds like the Bible. In the beginning, God. Now, remember, this is not talking about the creation of the universe. This is the creation of, we might as well replace world with earth. So, in the creation of earth. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, the sky and the physical ground. The earth was without form and void. So, why is it without form and void? And darkness was over the face of the deep. There was no light and there was no form. So something already happened. There was already chaos that has already happened. And a lot of people already question, like, why would God create something without form and void? Because it was already there. Okay. Created the heavens and the earth was without form or void. It was already destroyed. Yeah, angry God destroying his creation. Yeah, it happens repeatedly throughout myths and stories. It happens in this story where the gods destroyed Tiamat, the first goddess, split her in two. And every time, let's not think of gods as being this human-like creatures, or at least Tiamat. She's not. Let's think of her more of this ethereal kind of thing. And let me see if I have the image. Tiamat here. Okay. This is the image that I was imagining in my head, the yin yang, because yin yang is the perfect example for feminine and masculine energy. Why so much destruction? You know what? That's a good question, because there's something about when things get out of balance, then destruction is a part of it. Actually, the Hindus talk, it's a part of existence, it's a part of reality, it's a part of creation. And we'll talk about that too. But before I go on that tangent, because I'm gonna go there, Natalie, I'm totally going there. So when I think about what Tiamat is, she's this feminine energy. You see this moon and the masculine energy, and they were joined together and they create reality. Okay. She was split in two. And then when they mix, they create reality. So this fire here would represent masculine energy. The moon would, with our emotions and stuff, represents feminine energy. We need both, and we have both in each one. All of us have it. So gender, masculine and feminine energy doesn't mean man and woman. It just means we all have it, basically. But she is the epitome of feminine energy, and then her consort is the epitome of masculine energy, and they come together and create reality. Okay. Vesper in the house saying destroy in order to rebuild. Yes, exactly. Now, when the masculine, and I'm about to get really deep with you guys. I'm gonna get really deep with you guys. So when we talk about the beginning of creation on a primary level, there are three things: the masculine energy, the feminine energy, and when they come together, they create this new energy. In our universe, there's light. So let's go back. Ooh, excuse me, I've got a little bit of gas. Let's go back to the Bible. Not from a spiritual standpoint. I mean, from a spiritual standpoint, not a religious one. And God said, let there be light. Boom. And that's when there was light. Okay. Not the sun, because the sun was created later on. He creates light first. So light is not dependent on the sun. Light is an effect that happens when masculine and feminine energy intertwine. Creation. Where do we see that? We see that in nature. There are three things that I learned. I was an art major, duh. Okay, so there's three primary lights, colors. There's red, green, blue, RGB. Red, green, blue. Those are the primary colors in light. And when you put them all together, we get white light. All right, find an image. There we go. So primary colors, red, green, blue. We see red and blue in pretty much everything. Everything. Republican, Democrat. Two opposite things. Okay. Republicans are usually conservative, and conservative is more masculine. Red is a masculine color. Blue, believe it or not, is a feminine color. Blue is cool. It's about emotions. If you put the color blue in a room, it makes people more emotional. They calm down. Okay. So blue is a feminine color. So here you got the connection of red and blue intertwining. And then the green is the third primary. So here you got the Holy Trinity right here. Red, blue, green. The Holy Trinity. And they create white light. So green, I think it's kind of like, I can't remember if green is masculine, but green represents love. It is the color of the heart chakra. Boom. That's where we see it. And here we see the whole spectrum right here. So blue, the third eye, represents the third eye. The crown chakra is represented by violet. So this would be creation. This will be the universe itself. The all. The third eye will be represented by the feminine energy, which would be, Tiamat. The root chakra, the masculine energy. This is all that being grounded and stuff. And in the middle, the heart chakra. So you see that in this chakra spectrum and in the colors. But yeah, when you put blue, green, and red together, you get white light. In the physical world, it's yellow. It'd be blue, yellow, and red. Yellow and what is it? Yellow and blue make green. But in this world, in light, I think blue and green make yellow in light. So if you want yellow light, you can put blue and green together and it makes yellow light for some strange reason. Anywho, I'm telling you this because that's the Holy Trinity right there. Blue, the third eye, the heart chakra, and the root chakra. Put those together, you get white light. And that's where light comes from. That's where we get creation. Boom, light. And so when they come together, they bring light. So they split her in half and created the world according to the Enuma Elish. Marduk, which was the god, the head god, the chief god of that time. I'm not sure if he is still, and created the world. So I should put some links in here. When I'm done with this, I'll put these reading links so you guys can check out this this story of these ancient gods. And I'll put a link to this guy's video so you can watch that later. But look at that. Masculine and feminine coming together and making creation. Now, what I was talking about, flat earth, round earth and stuff, and I still got, yes, the earth is a globe. This is what I pictured in my head. What do you say? Vesper's talking about. Illusion is duality perception, black and white, while reality is the trinity, black, white, and gray. Yes, there's always an in-between. You got to look at the spectrum, and that's where we're going at. So I feel like I feel like all planets have consciousness. The earth is alive. Earth is a living being. And I think all planets are round or spherical. And I do believe our planet is spherical too, but it had every planet, and this is just my belief, that has a consciousness. So they split her in half, and I do believe that still half is like right there. And then according to the Bible, the firmament was created over that. And what I was telling that one guy, he was like, "Yo, I got all this proof of the Earth is flat," and I said, "Well, I still got this reading that the Earth is a globe, but not quite." So this is where I was picturing in my head is that yeah, it's still a globe, like it was an artificial, like it got reformed, and like this force field was created over the over the other half, and then the other piece of the Earth created the moon, because our moon is pretty weird. We only see one side of it. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, is the moon artificial? Why does it do that? No other moon does that." So think about that. Look at that little visual. Is it possible? I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying this is a fact. This is just saying. And then outer space is not empty air. Outer space is an ocean. So the vision that I had was that Tiamat was just kind of floating through space. She was just doing whatever she was. She was a spherical being, because every time we picture, well, anytime I've pictured beings, they're usually like these orbs of light. And I picture her as this orb, and she's just swimming through uh, the universe. And the universe is like this saltwater kind of existence. And she's just doing her own thing. She doesn't have an orbit. She's just, and she's creating all these other beings, and they're orbs of light too, or what we call planets. And then they decided, no, we need some order, because she's creating a lot of masculine energy. Something about her, she kept putting out masculine energy, because a lot of the gods were masculine gods, with a couple of exceptions, a few feminine ones. And usually the masculine gods created feminine goddesses, uh, you know. But she kept creating all this masculine energy. I think what happened was it became too much, and it outweighed her. Anytime we get out of balance with the masculine and feminine, which is where we're getting right about now in our universe, then there's destruction. If there's too much masculine energy, then there's destruction. If there's too much feminine energy, then there's no masculine energy. You know, there's going to be destruction either way. So anytime the universe gets out of balance, there's destruction, and then it rebalances itself. Anyways, the masculine energy is usually about order. So Marduk, what he did is like, let's get some order here, because she doesn't have an orbit or anything. So when they destroyed her and recreated her as Earth, Mother Earth, now she has an orbit. All the planets have orbits, and they orbit around the sun. And the sun represents a different energy too, masculine energy. So this is where I'm coming off on a very metaphysical level of creation, and that all these planets, the stars, the sun, all have consciousness, and they do what they want. Well, they don't do what they want. They do an order, except for the fallen angels, like the fallen or the shooting stars, which kind of don't have an orbit at all. They just kind of do what they want to do, which is where we get a lot of the zodiacal stuff. The stars doing their own thing. All right. Any questions on that yet? Because I will go on a tangent, but I had these thoughts, and I'm like, okay, I got to get this out. Okay. So here's the Hindu story, and I think it was Natalie. She was saying, why so much destruction? Okay. Back to Natalie's question. Okay, the Hindu creation story. I see you, Vesper. I'm gonna get to you. Okay. This is not the first world, nor is it the first universe. There have been many and will be many, many more worlds and universes than there are drops of water. That's what the Hindus believe, their creation story. In the Hindu creation story, they believe that the world has been destroyed and rebuilt many times. And we really only focus on our own present world. There was neither the realm of space nor the sky, which is beyond. There was neither death, neither immortality. There was no distinguishing sign of day or night. Let's see. After each old universe is destroyed, nothing is left but a vast ocean. Floating on this ocean, resting on the great snake Ananta, is Lord Vishnu. Um, some say the lotus flower springs from his navel. The lotus flower is very important. Lord Brahma, and it's from Lord Brahma all creation comes. So there's Vishnu, Brahma, and then what is the third one? Vishnu, Shiva, Vishnu. Oh, yeah, Lord Shiva. Here it is. The universe is made by Lord Brahma, the creator. It is maintained by Lord Vishnu, the preserver, and then it's destroyed by Lord Shiva. Okay, I can't highlight that for some reason. So what I'm doing here is looking at what everybody believes. I don't just take one thing. I look at everybody's stuff. I'm not just looking at Christian stuff. I'm looking at Hindu stuff. I'm looking at the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian stuff, to kind of get a full picture of all this ancient knowledge. So the universe was created by Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver. That's reality. Once again, you have your Trinity again. You got three primary energies. So Vishnu would be that the preserver, the reality. So Brahma creates, Vishnu keeps this reality stable, and then at some point the balance is undone by Shiva. Shiva destroys everything and it restarts again. That's why you don't need to be afraid of death. Don't be afraid of it. This is in this reality. They always want you to be scared of death. Be afraid. There's everything goes through cycles. Death is just a cycle. Destruction is a cycle. You say they have a statue of Shiva at CERN. I know. Shiva is at CERN and they're opening portals and stuff. They're trying to speed up a process, obviously. And that's what's crazy about it. What are you saying? We talked about this before. Yeah. We're always talking, Vesper. I was shown by spirit the way one sees a planet is a reflection of the individual's level of consciousness. 2D, flat earth, 3D, sphere, 4D, hypercube. Woo! Man. But we also have to think in spherical senses because everything is this spherical thing. But even when you put a bunch of spheres together, it does create this like bubbles. You ever blew bubbles when you're a kid, and then you like blew bubbles in your milk or something, and if you put a bunch of them together, they start creating cubes. Do it one day. You can do it at home. Just take a straw, blow a bunch of bubbles, and then watch some cubes start appearing as you or you start putting bubbles on bubbles on bubbles on bubbles. You start seeing cubes. So that's deep, man. I need some weed for that kind of conversation. But yeah, she was this sphere. We have these three primary spheres that come together. And I do believe that our planet is this kind of half sphere. But this is the Hindu story. Keep that in your mind. That chakras and stuff. Anyways, that's what I was thinking here. All right, so that's the background of what I wanted to share with you guys, but I want to still do some readings here. Who is Tiamat? Yeah. Hypersphere. Man. Natalie was like, yeah, I'm learning something today. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Don't let it overwhelm you. I'm going to make sure that I keep these links and put them in the description afterwards. So if you guys want to revisit the video, you can look at it and check it out and then look at the links that I found and just kind of educate yourself on some stuff. Like I said, this is a little bit metaphysical, this is a little bit occultic, this is a little bit spiritual, and a little bit of religious. All of it. But, it's all good. Now, with all that being said, back on topic. Let's see if we can get some esoteric questions or answers from the universe. Okay. All right. You know they have a hydrogen collider, hydrogen, what is it? Particle collider in Texas as well. So they have a few of them. There was one in Europe, and I think there's one in Texas. I didn't know that till later. I was like, wait a minute. I live in Texas. So, what question should I ask? Let's talk about the firmament, because the universe knows. Is the firmament above the earth real? Let's look at that. It's a firmament. Angel, spirit guides, ancestors, creator of all things. Protect my energy and give me insight. Firmament above us. There be light. Yes, yes, yes. That's 3 yeses, man. That's more than 3 yeses. Because we have the full card. In the beginning. What's the full mean? Starting a new beginning, and it's in the past. In the beginning. Full card. New beginnings. 8 of Cups. Moving on to something new. Look at there. Moving on to something new. What does that mean? Moving on to something new. It was like there was one world, and there was like, okay, let's move on. Let's try something new. Knight of Wands. Full speed ahead. This is kind of creation energy. I kind of get Marduk with this one, because this is a warrior, a fiery warrior. Knight of Wands. That's a yes. The firmament is real. Analyzing the data, trying to figure out how to close the rip in time-space continuum. Man, there's something going on. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Wands. Look at there. Queen of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. Who do you think that represents? Tiamat right there. Queen of Wands. This is a energy, feminine energy. She was only about herself. We get that Knight of Wands. Destroyed the firmament. That's just talking about what I was just talking about. That's scary. That's freaky scary. All right, so this one's for the flat earthers. Still a globe, but not quite. So once again, for the flat earthers, for the globers, and the esoteric spiritual folks, half Earth, the Earth or the planet, it wasn't called Earth yet. The planet energy, the consciousness was a spherical energy. She got destroyed. She got broken in half. She still exists, but she became Earth, and they put a firmament over her to protect her energy, kind of like a band-aid. And she still exists. Here's my thing. Oil is her blood. Blood. I think that's her blood. For real. I think oil is her blood. I don't think we'll ever run out of oil. If we do, she's dead. They're bleeding her dry. The vampires. Bleeding her dry. That's how she exists. And the waters is her creation, how she can create. The fresh waters is the masculine energy. She's not dried up yet. Like when you give birth, your water breaks. Something inside of her. All right, any questions you guys got for the tarot? Let's see. This question, what is? Have we ever been to the moon? Like physically on the moon? Has NASA ever physically been on the moon? Let me shuffle that one more time. Whoop, 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 whoop. I get yes, no, no. That's a maybe. The full card in the beginning, once again, the Ace of Pentacles, that's a loss of something, and then changing your focus, not focused on that. That's not a yes, that's not a no. Ace of Swords, talks about leadership, truth. Let's clarify that full card. That's a 2 yeses, 2 nos. I'm almost getting like with the past, maybe they started. I believe the elites are trying to trick the collective into manifesting the darkest timeline besides radiating love. How do we stop them? Oh my God. You might be right. Because they want to recreate the world. They want to recreate it. A world that where they have power. You got it. You stop them by continually manifesting what you want. Not what you want, but staying on the same energy of a positive world, creating a world where we're not dependent on government, basically. Okay, clarify the full card. Strength, star, and the 7 of swords. It's a secret that's coming out. The strength card, it talks about a spiritual energy, feminine energy. There was a hope, and then something that was revealed to them. I think what happened is we started to go to the moon, and then we figured out some secret. There was an attempt, the strength card, and the hope, the star card. And the star card talks about space, and they look at there's a moon in there. And then the star card, hope, balance. And there's a moon in this one too. The 7 of swords talks about a secret was revealed to them. So there, I feel like there was a beginning attempt to try to get to the moon, and maybe they were successful because I get 2 yeses and 2 nos. But the Ace of Pentacles says it's too expensive, or there was a loss, or something happened, and they decided, okay, we're not going to focus on this anymore. Like maybe a danger, and then everything else was probably like, we're not doing that anymore. 2 of Pentacles, balance. Oh, 2 of Pentacles. I'm getting a lot of pentacles here, talking about the physical reality and money, and maybe it's too expensive, but also trying to keep the balance. It's almost like if they go to the moon, something gets off balance. Like they get close enough to it. So, because the moon is the feminine energy anyways. Well, it represents feminine energy. Interesting. What do you guys think about that? Any thoughts on that? 2 yeses, 2 nos. So, yeah, we've been to the moon, kinda. Maybe satellites. Maybe we sent a probe, but it wasn't a full yes. So maybe what we've been told about the moon isn't true, because they figured out some kind of secret about, and it's something about taking their time, and then they decided to not focus on it. Ooh, then I get the Master card, Christ consciousness. There's some spiritual energy that's involved with the moon. The Master card pops up. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. All right, next question. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. But I feel like they some kind of secret was discovered. Something about destruction. I feel like if they do something on the moon, or if they get too close to it, something happens. Let's look at what happened in the 60s when the last time they said they went to the moon. And see if there was any major issues or major cataclysms. Well, I don't know if you think about Vietnam War. There was a lot of chaos that was happening in the 60s and 70s during that time. Internal representation, maybe like we've been there because we experienced the moon's energy. Maybe the travel to the moon is too expensive and more than just money. That could be it. Maybe it's too, I think anytime, it could be not only expensive to do, but also something happens when we interact. Yeah, we never have gone back. I think when we interact with the moon's energy, something bad happens. Something bad happens, and maybe bad happens to the people that are involved with the moon. There's some type of energy that the moon has is very powerful, and if when we interact with it, it affects Earth somehow. It's not just a rock floating in space. It's a spiritual energy, and then stuff happens, and it's too. It's like it's keeping this. Remember, it's keeping a balance between masculine and feminine energy. Let's try to start. Possibility. So, and remember, I think all these government people, they're all into the occult, so they know this stuff. You know, it's just the public that they don't tell us. They're all part of Masonry and Freemasonry. They know these spiritual concepts, but I think they were playing with some energy, and it was causing destruction on the earth, and they were like, we better not do that. Okay, let's see. Is the sun and the moon inside the firmament? Let's look at that. We already talked about. Did you know that is it Japan or China? They're trying to create an artificial sun if they haven't already. And they are already working on that science of creating an artificial sun for their city or their country or something like that. Is the sun and the moon inside the firmament? That's a yes. 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 Okay. So remember that half globe thing I told you guys with the dome on top of it? Earth is still a globe, but it's a half globe, according to my tarot and the vision that I was having. And there's a lot of water and a lot of ocean. We have fresh water inside. It's consciousness. Outside space is this saltwater kind of world, ocean world. And it's probably got some beings swimming up in there. We got the Three of Wands, Eight of Cups, moving on to new things. This is talking about that creation that I was talking about. And the Page of Swords, that's learning new things. Yeah. The Three of Wands talks about waiting for something to happen that was in the past. Eight of Cups, moving on to something new. It's got a moon in there too in that picture. Page of Swords. We have an artificial world that we're living in. We are living in a matrix. So the sun is not in this space solar system. It's inside our ecosystem, doing its own little thing. And the moon are doing its own thing. So they're still doing their thing. So Flat Earth kind of got it, but not quite. It kind of got it, not quite. Not quite like that. It's still a globy kind of thing. It's kind of weird. Definitely. Yeah, it's all yeses. All yeses. Anytime they're right side up, they're all yeses. And Three of Pentacles, it's working. Three of Pentacles, earth energy, three things, earth, sun, moon, and they all work together. They all work together to keep a balance. This is what I'm getting from this, because Three of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy, and it's three things that work together and work together well. We need the earth, the sun, and the moon. Remember that I said the earth is conscious and it's a being, and it's almost like I feel like it needs it to stay alive, like a life support system. And this is why if we touch the moon or if we do anything with the moon, it puts the earth out of balance. What do y'all think about that? We just went to the sun. Did y'all get that news about that? Let me find that article. Travel to the sun. Let me see. News. There was an article I found. How fast was the sun? Did y'all? I don't know if y'all found that art. Did y'all see that article where we talk about we went to the sun? Yeah, I know it's crazy. Let me see if I can find it. NASA went to the sun, sun and moon, asteroid. I know I found that article. So it's happening very soon. That was 16 days ago. A solar orbiter, which will soon be the closest to ever humanity's been to the sun. I don't know. Well, that was 16 days ago. That's probably it. Happening very soon, March 9th, 2022. European Space Agency, in collaboration with NASA, sent a solar orbiter, which will soon be closest humanity's ever been to the sun. Despite being the most massive object in the solar system, massive object, contradictory to the sun, which is provided as necessary life, it is extremely dangerous for mankind at distance close to Earth. Yeah, they're doing something. They're trying to do something to the sun. Trying to send orbs. Now, if what I'm reading is correct, the sun and the moon are inside the firmament. And the Bible says that too, right? Okay. Now, if that's true, we can send stuff to the sun like we've sent stuff to the moon, but that's the masculine energy. And we don't want to mess with the masculine energy. Don't want to mess with that. Masculine energy is order. Feminine energy is creativity. We see a lot of things happening with masculine and feminine energy right now in our present world, but we'll see. Okay. Any other questions you guys have? Let's see. Let me look what that other guy was talking about. Deceive. I know that one. Repicture. So far, I've got the firmament is real. The sun and the moon are inside the firmament. Let's see. What else can I ask? Oh, look at that. I'm playing around and I'm talking about the sun, and at the bottom of the deck where you see the sun reversed. That's no accident. Is the sun dying? Is the sun dying? The sun is reversed. Are they going to the sun to revive the sun, to try to figure out the way to recharge it? Is the sun like a battery keeping this world alive? Just this world. Look at that. I'm talking about the sun and what's at the bottom of the deck. I can't make this stuff up, man. Let me reshuffle these. This is wild. I'm blowing your minds. You're like, I don't have a question. All right. What else is NASA lying to us about? What is NASA lying to us about? So I think the flat earthers got it kind of right, but there's still a globe concept to our planet, and it's doing its own thing. It's a part of what the ancients believed to be Tiamat. It is conscious. It's doing something. We live inside a water snake. There are snakes in all 4 directions in the constellations. Do we live inside of a water snake? Like the universe? Let's see. You know what I should ask? Is the universe an ocean? Tiamat is supposed to be a snake. She's the water snake. Yeah, Tiamat is supposed to be the water snake. You say you talk way too much. No, ask questions. That's what you guys are here for. You know, I like to bounce off of you guys and your energy because it helps me learn as well. You know, so is the universe an ocean? Is space an ocean? Space an ocean? Like creation, light. They created all the stars are supposed to be like it says not really. Yes, we got no, yes, no. Okay. Not really an ocean, but getting there. So I probably phrased the question wrong. Wheel of Fortune, stuck, going backwards, time. I'm getting something about time here. Wheel of Fortune. Space is like time. Yes, I got one yes. Is ocean like? But what is he doing? He's standing on ground. He's standing on top of something. He's standing on the earth. And all of this energy is around him, coming at him. Space is coming at us. You see that? I'm looking at visuals too. So I think of the Wheel of Fortune as time. Space around us is time. And then this guy, he's standing on the earth and things are coming around him. It's something that surrounds us. And then we get the Ace of Cups reverse, which is water energy. So it's saying, no, it is water. It's emptying out. It's like pouring out around us. It's flowing. It's I'm also getting kind of sense of Ace of Cups reverse is empty. It's emptiness. It's void. It's lack of creation. So yes, it is ocean-like, but it's not quite ocean like we think of it as the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. That's what Spirit is telling me. It's ocean-like. It's void of something, because Ace of Cups reverse talks about emptiness. And it's more so like time, Wheel of Fortune. So time is around us. But it's also, Wheel of Fortune is also being stuck in time. It's like it's not moving time. It's time stopped. It's frozen time. So kind of yes, not really. That's what I'm kind of hearing in my spirit. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's slow. It's about potentiality. It's potential. Seven of Pentacles talks about growth and potential. It's the ether of where we pull potential energy into reality. This is where, oh my God, Seven of Pentacles, because it's about something where you're waiting for something to grow. You put the seeds in, and from space is what that is. It's the ether of where we put our seeds of thought, and from that, this is where things come. This is where reality manifests from. It manifests from space, from consciousness, and it empties out onto the earth. That blew me away. Wow. Woo. And so it's water, like, hey, Valkyrie. So space is a water-like substance, not like water like we think of it, but it's more like consciousness. It is let's see, it's like subconsciousness. It is the subconsciousness of the universe, of where reality manifests from. And from that, this is where creation comes through. So, in good old planet sits in that consciousness. It's almost like we're sitting in something in the mind. Fluid, yeah, exactly. We're sitting in consciousness and a subconsciousness. And that follows a lot of streams or beliefs about like the tree of life, the Kabbalah tree of life, chaos dreams, thought. You know, like when you go to sleep, all you see is darkness, and then all of a sudden your dreams start coming through. You know, it's that sleepiness. It's sleepiness. It's darkness. It's the void where all things come from. So it has a living quality to itself as well. It's just not a conscious living thing. It's a subconscious living thing. It's The world is the mind. All is the mind. You know, it's like this whole. Gosh, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to put things into words as they come down to me. Any more questions? You got any questions about NASA, space, reality, planet? Anything you want to know that you think you're being lied to about the government? Because I got to get specific with these questions. Otherwise, the cards only give me a general answer. So I'll open the door or open the floor to your questions before I wrap this up. So you guys have the floor, or whatever you want to ask. I know it's kind of deep. I'm going to put a lot of these links in here so you guys can like do your own little studies about the universe. Like I said, the only thing I've gotten so far is that there is a firmament. Like the Bible is true on that. Which I, like I said, I don't throw the baby Jesus out with the bathwater. I'm not a religious person. I'm not a Christian, but I believe a lot of stuff the Bible has to say about what I think a lot of organized religion has used that to deceive people and control people. This is why I don't quite get with religion. But believe in angels, you know that. Believe in demons, yes I do. Believe in magic. I believe in spirit. I believe in a lot of mythological stories are true because they all connect. The primary energies of this world are light. The primary colors of light, red, green, and blue. And we see that, like I said, in like Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, masculine, feminine. And when we put then we have the Green Party doing the same thing. It's almost like they're telling us without telling us. We have Republicans red, Democrats blue, and then we have the Green Party. And when they all come together, it creates light. It's been incredible, fascinating. Mantra, you helped me consider things from you. That's me. That's just my life. I'm always sitting in this in between. Thank you, Penny. I'm always sitting in this in between thinking. I am the hermit card, basically. I am the hermit card. What's my hermit hood? I work from home. I do tarot, and I do a lot of reading. I am the hermit card. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I wanted to share these thoughts. I like to connect with you guys every now and then. I don't like sitting here and just thinking. What's the point of thinking and reading if you can't share it? And let's keep on trying to manifest the world that we want to live in, the utopia that we want to live in. My ladies, y'all have strong feminine energy. Focus that. We all have masculine and feminine energy. There is a war on women. There's a war on feminine energy. Always has been the divine feminine. Protect that energy. Ask the universe to protect that. My brothers, protect your feminine energy. There's always been a war on men expressing any type of feminine energy. Balance it out. We're not saying destroy masculine energy. There's also a war on masculine energy, or the patriarchy. Neither here or there. Don't destroy either one. We need both. We need both masculine energy and feminine energy. We need to intertwine them. That's what causes creation. And push come to shove, if shit hits the fan, if the world is destroyed again, just know it will be recreated. So like I said, don't be afraid of death. Don't have fear at all of what happens. Just make sure that, remember, the only thing that really exists is your consciousness. We've all lived and existed before. This world has been destroyed before. And look, we're still here. I believe many of you guys are old souls that have been in past worlds, and this world was destroyed before. And we're still here. And I think the goal here is what these elites, quote unquote elites, these people who quote unquote have power with the money that they created, they want to know who these spirit seeds are. They want to know who these star seeds are. They want to know who these people are. They want to keep you controlled. You know, they want to keep you and your levels low. They want to, keep you in a moment of fear, in a state of fear, so that you will create the world that they want, because they can't create it. They can't create it. A lot of these beings, or a lot of these people in power, are walking demons. They're devils. Excuse me, Lord have mercy. They're devils in disguise. They're cloning people and creating bodies so that they can put demons in them. And you notice, like, anything mainstream, they always want to make fun of people who believe in demons. They always want to make fun of, like, there's so many spiritual things that tell you that demons can do this, 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 and this, and they're limited. Demons can cause disease. Demons can cause destruction. They can do a lot of stuff. And it takes a lot of power to control demons, because they're like wild animals, but they're smart. And they've been here a long time, And so they like to ridicule people who believe in demons. Believe the science. Demons aren't real. Spirits aren't real. It's fairy tales. I don't believe in fairies. It's like, spirits are real, man. I'll tell people, like, spirits are real. You ain't got that many people with mental disorders. It seems like the more, as years go on, we get more and more people who get these mental disabilities. What's going on? People are losing their minds. More and more people. You telling me the whole world is going crazy, or are we unleashing demons, and people who aren't protecting their energy are getting taken? Or they're doing rituals on children. They're attacking children. They're getting children when they're early, and getting them attached to those demons. So protect your kids if you have any, because there's a war on children too, to get them. Darkness is absence of light. What'd you say? I got my light so bright that demons run away like roaches. Yep, they are like roaches. Hard to kill, but yeah, they don't like light. There's enough darkness in this world. You be the light. There has to be a balance. There's a lot of darkness in this world. Also, balance out your own darkness and your own light too, because, like I said, we all have masculine and feminine energy. Darkness is not necessarily bad. It's just that darkness is darkness. So, but those demons, they don't have any light at all. Yeah. Start them long. You mean start them young? I remember that song, This Little Light of Mine. And there was shut the door, keep out the devil. Keep the devil in the night. What is that song? Light the candle, everything's alright. It was like a little Jamaican song. I don't want to get no copyright strike though. I gotta find that song. I'll put that in a link. Anyways, guys, it's always a pleasure talking with you guys. Just going, kicking some knowledge with you guys. Vesper, I've known Vesper forever. I don't see him all the time because he lives on a different part of the country because he's holding down that side of the country. Yeah, you everybody, like, we're all in different cities, states. Hold your side of the country. Shine the light in your city. Smile at somebody and show that love. Give somebody a hug. Don't worry about the folks who call you weird, or those are a lot of those folks. Like I said, they're either NPCs, and non-playable characters, which we're talking about. Those are the bots that that this matrix has created to kind of fill up the void. Some of those are walking demons. Some of those are people who are possessed by demons and don't know what they're doing. They're part of the matrix. And those people you pray for, and hopefully, that they can be released from that bondage. There's a lot of bondage in this world. People are just kind of walking and going through the motions, Like, oh, I need more money. As you can see, money's about to be eradicated. Money's an illusion. You see, they just keep making it up. They just keep printing it. Now they're gonna have Bitcoin, which is imaginary, digital money. You know, the value. And one of my friends just posted it this day. I'm gonna tell you this because the moon is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is about the physical world and value. The value is not about how much money you have and the things you have. Value in a spiritual sense is how much you are giving to others and changing and influencing people for the better. That is value. That is true value. Okay, keep that in mind. It's not about money. So just keep shining your light, being you, being creative, putting those masculine and feminine aspects of yourself together and creating light. And what's that green? What's the third part of the Trinity? The heart chakra. Third eye, root chakra, which is grounding yourself into the physical world. Third eye, and the heart chakra, which is the green light. Putting all that together, keeping that flow, and creating light, white light. And like a Care Bear stare, let it come out like that. Okay? Yeah, Vesper. He does his deep high vibe mixes Sundays at 3 p.m. East Coast time. Vesper, is that on YouTube? I think you do it on Instagram, right? He does a little mix if you guys want to, you know, turn it on. If it's on YouTube, you know, I could play it on my TV. If it's on Instagram, I got to play it on my phone. But yeah, Vesper, be sure to post a link on that. Oh, your site is copyright. Oh, it's on your website. All right, well, post a link to your website, and other children of the sun can join that and check that out sometimes. Plugging them, plug. All right, guys. Have a great day, a great weekend. Be blessed, be light, be love, and create your reality. Because what do I say? If you don't do it, then who will? I will talk to you guys Sunday. I'm gonna do the weekly tarot. Peace out.